It's Adam here, and today we're going to see what if Mongolia tried to reform the Mongol Empire. Now, Mongolia will be represented in the colour of red for the whole duration of this video, just to show. So if you see anything red, that means it is Mongolia. Now, if anything that has war declared on them is going to be blue. So let's get started. Now there'll be a tiny little, Russia and China actually share a small border here. So Mongolia is going to say, hey, is it alright if we can take that little bit of land? 'Cause if I had to be honest, you don't even use it. I'm going to say, like, yeah, true, we do have this whole border. So, yeah, sure. And now Mongolia. Borders 3 countries, Kazakhstan. And that's where their war will start. Now, I see how much there was. Stretched from basically Japan all the way to Poland and near Constantinople. Mongolian troops will head right in, not giving Kazakhstan any time to prepare. But when they do, they will have a small counter-offensive. Rare, I know. But strategic placing in the Mongol front line will encircle them, but they will do some really serious damage. But overall, they are encircled and innocently. Let's just say they never open their eyes again, or they will never say a word again. Now, a funky man over in Europe will come along and they'll declare war against Poland. Now, this has nothing to do with the Mongol Empire, but it sort of does, as they're going to have to face Germany if they want to complete the whole Mongol Empire. NATO will stand in the way of this, but let's just say NATO is no more. Bye bye NATO. Germany will begin their push over, capturing some major cities, and eventually the Czech Republic will join Germany, and so will Switzerland and Austria. And Poland is not going to play around. They will take capital of Germany, and there's the map. But tons and tons of troops are encircled and killed, and Germany will surrender. Back over here in the Mongols, this little inland sea, I guess, has been captured. Now overall, since Mongolia is buffed, they will win the war, but it will take quite a while, but they do manage to do it. In the treaty, they are fully annexed. Now that they border a whole lot more countries, such as the Caucasus, but not these Caucasus. I mean the one right across the Black Sea. No, that's the Black Sea. Right across this thing here. These Caucasus. So they will be given an ultimatum, which is join us or you will be killed. Now some countries, like this one here, one with weird borders here, and whatever's here, whatever that monstrosity is, they will all join Mongolia, leaving Uzbekistan. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, quite expected. They will be fully annexed into this new Mongol empire, who has already tripled their size. It's honestly astounding to think that their land has doubled by that much. And now pretty much everyone that they border are quite strong. Even though they have uranium to produce nukes, they are not allowed to use those nukes at all. But there is one foe who is facing them up. It's like, we're going to take as much land as we can. They are going to take all of the Baltics, Lorraine, the Benelux, which will drag the UK into it. Now the UK will not lose any land, but they will have to pay war reparations, and a huge chunk of France. Now the UK will get some land out of this. as they get Brittany. As they get Brittany. Pretty weird, but whatever. And France is left pretty crippled with their capital city taken and almost all of their major cities taken. All they can do now is make either one of these the ones in black, the dots in black, they are major cities that could be the new capital, but I wouldn't choose any near Britain or Germany. Personally, I would go with this one. Now, Mongolia will see that Germany is trying to face them up and be like, hey, we're better than you. So they will declare war against a very few unlikely foes. Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. I just make them one country for now, just to make it easier on our eyes. Because I'd rather not become blinded. Mongol troops all land. Wait. Mongol troops will go ahead and land on the coast of these three countries, pushing over, but this will drag Turkey into the war. And this is actually really helpful for Mongolia, as they do not have to declare war individually. But it will also make it much, much worse, as once they're all captured, they'll have to deal with a literal European superpower. Like, they're stronger than Greece. Well, they're stronger than all the Baltic countries. Not stronger than Germany nor much stronger than France. A bit weaker than the UK. I'd say the closest match is Spain or Ukraine. Hey, you see that? That rhymed. Not funny, didn't laugh. Troops will flood in, but Turkey will be able to push them back, because again, this isn't some run over stupid country. This is actually a really strong country. But let's be honest, Turkey versus Mongolia, Kazakhstan, all of the Caucasus, most of the real Caucasus. So yeah, this is a pretty strong foe you don't want to face. Now Germany is getting rolled out by the Mongolians at the moment. Now America will see that they're climbing up the ranks and they'll be like, hey, what the freak do you think you're doing? And they will say, hey, if you take any more land and you move up the ranks one more time, I'm coming for you. I'm coming. And you don't want to see me when I'm angry. And Mongolia will be like, shut up. You're Americans eat 45,000 calories a day. Like, shut up. The American president will be like, fine, whatever. But if you take any more European countries, you're done. Except for Russia. I don't like Russia. I will be supporting Germany though, because Germany is pretty cool. Now Britain will have to let me, otherwise they're dead. And the UK will be like, No, you're not coming through my canal. I don't know why I've went completely off course here, but it will be in use in a minute. Once another country falls. Now Turkey, after losing most of their land, they will surrender. And let's look at this peace treaty. In the peace treaty, they will be completely annexed. Except for up to here. Now Turkey's looking like a real sausage at the moment. Turkey's looking like a real sausage at the moment, so we'll just leave them to it. But in fact, we won't, as they will be forced into a puppet of the state has. Puppet state into a, if you want to get scientific, a satellite state. But this is a kids-friendly channel, and we talk about things that children understand. Now, adults, this is for you, specifically adults. These videos are totally allowed for children. It's just that I don't let children watch it specifically by themselves, because it includes war stuff and me describing very, very bad people in like Germany's very bad owner back in World War or something, don't remember. See, that's all I'm saying. Just even though I don't look child friendly, I totally am, and it's okay. And I see why you don't think I am. I talk about war, but this is totally child friendly, and I'm okay with, and I'm alright with all the backlash. Again, I do not have control over your children, but these are totally child friendly. As long as the parent is near, it's okay. Now back to those things that I said about over here in Europe. Now that Germany has pretty good access to the Mediterranean, they can send their navy over to deal with the Mongols. But why would you do that? Let them have some fun. Until you start to get your stuff together. Oh god, you're going at it. You're invading Belarus. Oh well, seems like Russia didn't care. Now, all the countries that they border, all the countries that they border now, it's either not in the thingamabobby, or it's just not in it. But the only ones that are in it are really weak, but very unimportant. They're going to go at it with these guys. Instantly, the Mongols will sweep down, taking Jordan and all that. And that will instantly send them into a peace treaty. In the peace treaty, Mongols will take this, while the rest Mongols will get all of this. While everything else they didn't annex will be made into a puppet state or a satellite state, whichever one, doesn't matter. Now they border Iran in two different ways, over here and around a long border over here. All the troops are currently over on this border, but they are currently delivering troops over to this border, so it's a two-front war. Once that's all done, America will actually be really happy with this, as well, nobody's actually came face to face with Iran, let's be honest. Nobody has actually laid foot on Iran. But it's about time that changes, don't you think? Mongol troops will instantly start to cross the border. And, well, not looking very good for Iran. They will send some of their nukes, which will not do very much, because during the times that I was talking about all of this over here and all of the stuff about going through here, it's been Mongolia has been developing not a nuclear arsenal, but a nuclear deflectants. So if there's any people who would like to tell me what that is or what it's called, feel free. I will be very, very happy if you would tell me. But I doubt anyone will, because everybody hates me. So yeah, there's a really big push coming out of coming into Iran. But this will also get the United States into this, as they make a landing over in the southern side, and these two don't have very good relations, but it's also not horrible, it's just not that good. So yeah. How do I do that? Anyways, they will push down and the Americans will meet up. So I think it's about time that we look at a peace treaty. Yeah. Full annexation, no debate. The Americans joined right when Iran was about to surrender, so they basically don't get anything, so they didn't really participate. Sorry for all my American fans, but you gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do. So, sorry guys. Now this is how the map is looking without the other weirdos on the map. This is how it looks like so far. Pretty good, pretty bad, whichever one makes you feel better. I don't really care. And I think it's about time that they start declaring war against some pretty strong countries. And these pretty strong countries consist of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Troops will instantly start flooding. And although there's literally hellish terrain in Afghanistan, they still managed to do it. And now there's a huge border against them and Pakistan. So they start to push into Pakistan, and India will have the chance to get back at them for all the things that they've done. India will be like, thank the lucky stars, my saviour. Now India will not do very much as they're restrained by China, but the Mongolians will do very well. By this time, the Mongols have surpassed their whatever thing they were. I think they were like in the 50s somewhere. 50s or above. But now they have a solid spot in 4th place, right behind these two. Well, and the big beast, America. Yeah, it's going pretty well for Mongolia, but the time has come for a real war. They have started to pay attention to their citizens. They've grown to top second by a mile. Russia Mongolia has the most military people, as 550 million reserves. We have 50 million reserves, 140 million tanks, 202 million actual humanoid troops, 80,000 jets, and just they have at least 1 million helicopters. And yeah, everything is just really good in Mongolia. If they're not in second, then they would definitely be in first. So the real war is starting. Oops. Boom. The two largest countries go into war. Now this would also include Ukraine into this. On Mongolia's side, now all the Russian troops are currently over on the border of Mongolia and all that, and they were expecting it, but they weren't expecting it to be this early. Now the Ukrainians know what the Mongolians are trying to do, so they just stick to the north, and they do actually pretty well up there. I really don't know what's going on with this thing. There'll be a small push into Russia over here, and it would be really good as well as over here. And there'll be a huge invasion over here. But over in the main Mongolian territory, the Russians will have a small invasion. Small, but very, very costly, but effective, as it almost cuts this area from all of this. So yeah, it does almost cut them off until Mongolian troops flood in, like literally flood in, taking back all of their land. And their push over here does much, much better. Now it's basically just a full-on invasion as more and more troops flood into Russia. It's just a matter of time till Moscow is taken. But who knows, that could be not that long, or it could take years. Who knows? It could be right now, but I highly doubt that. So they will keep pushing up. And, Moscow has just been taken. And its hold is pretty good. Russia will surrender. So let's have a look at this peace treaty. It is technically complete full annexation, but not, I guess, as, Ukraine takes a lot of the land. And, now the only thing standing in the way of the full empire is, China. China. So the most risky thing ever is done. The declaration of war against freaking China. Now, obviously, the United States and all of its allies will, well, most of its allies will happily join in on this. But since this is not their video, they will not be included. A huge barrage of troops push in. As hundreds of troops flood in. Millions of troops flood in, and almost, well, none of the reserves are called in, as they are currently trying to deal with all of this land. But they will do extremely well. Now again, this isn't some run over country. They will have a huge pushback, pushing them all the way back to their border. And this pushback to their border will lead into... Bro, what are you doing? Will lead into a... Well... The invasion over here will do extremely well, and they will even start to push in to main Mongolia. But they will quickly be pushed back. As more and more troops will start to flood in. What is going on? Oh my god, this thing sucks. Let's try again. Troops will flood in, and they will reach the border of North Korea, pushing in and taking the whole country. And they will also take South Korea. But overall, all the troops are coming up from the north. And once their capital is taken, they will surrender. And the peace treaty will look something like, well, it will look something like this. Now this is, I think, the peak of the Mongolian Empire. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please smash that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, my dudes.